So I don't ever, oh, he left. He went up to the windowsill. That's how quick they are. Balthazar likes our little windowsill here, and it's nice when it's not sunny, so I can keep it open for him. I'm sure he'll be making his way on screen soon. Welcome to Stretch Session on this Thursday morning. Hopefully Osiris will come out as it's his 20th birthday. I was hoping to have a big party for him this year. I don't know his exact birthday. He was a rescue that I got in the East Village. But today is my birthday as well, so we just always celebrate because he was born at least in June, I know that. So for my birthday, I strained my glute on my workouts. That means this is going to be a pretty mellow stretch session today. It's not bad, but it could definitely use some hamstring work. So we're going to do a lot of work on our back today, and we'll do some seated poses. And hopefully we'll focus on the down regulation of our nervous system, which is something I think a lot of us can use right now. DerekBarris.com/yoga for information. I'll have a workshop coming up in a couple weekends on a Sunday on Zoom, and for donation links and the music playlist links for these classes if you want some sound while you're doing them. Okay, so I have a strap and some blocks here. I'll probably only use one block as well as the strap, but you don't need any of those things. If you have a towel, that will work as well. And let's begin on our backs. I will be transitioning just a little slowly, again, because of this injury, but it happened Tuesday. It's already getting better. Right. Now on your back, start to drop your knees side to side. Let's just take a moment with that. So I know for myself, I'm really going to just focus on nice deep breaths today, especially as I move into these tender areas in this left hip. Okay, and I am going to start left side today, simply just so I know where my limits are and I don't do things on the right that will aggravate it. So we'll hug our left knee into your chest, and you can keep your right knee bent, or you can extend it out long. And just start by circling that left hip. Of course, with a session like this where I have to treat it very gingerly, you are always welcome to up-level the poses if you'd like. Go ahead and reverse directions on your circles. So whereas I'm doing nice, slow, controlled circles, you may want to do a little bigger. I don't know about faster, not for this type of class. Okay. And then we're going to bend your right knee again and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And place your left hand on your inner left thigh and just press away for a light pigeon stretch here. Flex your left foot. And then deep breaths. So while it is a little more challenging to breathe and talk simultaneously, I do want you to focus on exhaling longer than you inhale in general for this entire class, as that is how you downregulate your nervous system, or you move into parasympathetic nervous system. All right, so this is going to be the start position of the next move. We're going to do a little range of motion movement. So you have this pigeon stretch going on, nice and easy, and then from there you're going to extend your left leg up to the ceiling, drive your heel up, and then rebend your knee and place it back and give a little push. All right, so let's take a few like that. We'll take one more. Okay, and then let's take your left leg up into that hamstring stretch. You can wrap your hands around your thigh or around your calf muscle, and then you can also stretch your right leg straight if you'd like. And take a few breaths. And of course the strap is great if you want it here. You can also walk your hands up to your foot or your ankle and pull in a little bit. But I am right where I need to be right here. We'll take about 5 deep breaths into that space. And then adding a little range of motion here, you'll bend your left knee into your chest. And then exhale, extend your leg back up. I'm going to play with that for 4 more rounds. And we'll take 1 more. And as your left leg goes back up, just nice, easy ankle circles. And reverse directions. And then bend your knee back and extend your left leg out even with your right. Play with a little rotational movement now. So flex your right foot and place your hands on your ribs or on your hips here. Try to keep them stable. With your right foot flex, externally rotate your left hip. So bringing your pinky toe towards the ground and then bring it back up. This is very gentle movement, almost moving towards Feldenkrais territory here, really an exploration of these subtle manipulations of your joints. And then keep your right foot flexed. Externally rotate your left leg so your toes are pointing out to the side. And then you're going to lift your left leg up and then place it back down. So we'll take 5 slow rounds like that, just working in that external rotation for 2. We'll take 2 more. And then 1 more stretch here. You're going to bend your left knee, cross your right ankle over your left thigh as if you were going to pigeon, and then drop your knees over to the right. And now we're outer thigh IT band area on that left hip in the spinal twist. And just take 5 deep breaths here. One more breath. And you'll lift back up to center. And your right ankle is right where it needs to be to start. So keeping your right ankle crossed over, take your right hand to your right thigh and just press that leg open into this gentle pigeon. We'll do the full reclining pigeon next after this sequence. There he is. Take 3 more breaths here. You do need to get those circles in, so bend your right knee into your chest. You can keep your left knee bent or straighten it out and circle your right thigh for a moment. And reverse directions. And then you're going to bring it back across into that gentle pigeon. And we'll start to move from that. So press. And then as your knee comes in, you're going to extend your right heel up to the ceiling, getting into your hamstring. And then bend and press into your pigeon. Moving into your hamstring stretch. We'll take 2 more rounds like that. Last one, number 5. When we get up to that hamstring stretch, we'll pause there. And extend up. And again, take it where you will. Left leg bent, or you can stretch it out. And again, you can climb your leg. You can draw it in a little bit. Just keep your heel nice and strong here. Now, as with everything on both sides, my right side is not hurting at all, so I can go much deeper into this. But rather than overstretch one side, I'm just going to try to maintain the same positions. 2 more breaths here. We tend to favor our stronger, more flexible side as it is. And then let's move through this range of motion. So you're going to draw your knee into your chest. And then again, extend your leg up. So inhale draws it in. And exhale, extend up. I'll take 3 more rounds like that. Next time you get your legs straight, start with your ankle circles. Reverse directions. And then you'll soften your knee and extend your right leg all the way out to meet your left. Again, you can take your hands to your hips here, just try to keep them stable and start by externally rotating your right leg and then back to center. And then when you find it in that externally rotated position, keep it, flex your left foot, keep it stable, lift your right leg up in that externally rotated position, and then lower it back down onto your cat. We'll take 4 more. Last 2. And then bend your right knee, put your foot down, draw your left knee in, and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh back into that pigeon position. And you'll drop your knees over to the left now. And again, you're gauging how hard to press into that left shin to help to weight down the outer right thigh as you're in your twist here Take about 5 deep breaths. Back up to center. And now let's take that pigeon with your left knee, your left shin crossed over your right thigh. And just flex your left foot. And again, if you want to up level at all, you can straighten your right leg. You can reach up, grab your foot. You can cradle your left leg. I'm just going to hold here for about a minute here and just really enjoy. And again, focus today, down regulation. So nice long exhales. Let's see if on every exhale, perhaps you can draw your right knee in a little closer or your left shin, depending on what variation you're taking here. Take 2 more deep breaths on this side. And then you'll place your right foot back down and extend your right leg out and bring your left foot to the ground, so that we're in this almost like a seated spinal twist if we were to come up. And then you're gonna play with this angle so your right foot is flexed, your right thigh is strong, and then open up your left hip here. So finding a kind of reclining pigeon different with a straight leg, and then bring your foot back down. So your left knee may come all the way to the ground, right? You're just using that right leg a couple times to externally rotate your left hip here. And keeping that tension between your ankle and your thigh here as you work it for 2. 1 more. And then from there, pick your left foot up, put it inside of your right inner thigh, and then open up into a tree pose. Now, your left foot is flexed into your inner right thigh. Your right foot is flexed as well. And then stretch your arms overhead. And take 5 breaths here. So instead of just lying on the ground, you're actually activating your entire body here as if you were in a standing tree. Right? So find those alignment points. Ribs in. Little length in your tailbone. Squeeze your glutes. Let your left knee open. Right foot stays flexed. 3 more breaths. It's as if there's an invisible block between your hands. My thumbs are floating off the ground. Last breath. Okay, relax your body. Take your left knee across now into your actual spinal twist. And again, take this wherever you will here. I'm just going to hold for a few moments. So straightening your left leg, eagle wrap. Right. For me, with my particular injury, one of the important parts is stretching my IT band. So putting a little bit of pressure on my right hand onto my left thigh, just to add a little bit more tension there. Feels pretty good. Let's take 4 more breaths. Okay, now from here, I want you to take your left arm up, and you're actually going to come across onto your right hip. And then extend your left leg out so that we're now on our left hip here, sorry, on our right hip, and our hips are stacked. Now, a couple options here. You can stay with your head down, or you can come up onto your right form. And this is where we're going to work. We're going to look a little bit more of this adduction and abduction here, and then on our back. So flex both feet, and we're just going to do simple leg raises. Lift your left leg, and then tap it down. We'll do 10. So this is something I sometimes do with a band as well, between my, or around my shins. So I'm moving as if I had the band there, meaning I'm just, my negative is as slow and controlled as the positive movement here. 4 more. Last 2. And 1. Okay, now from there, you're going to take your left leg behind you, try not to pitch forward too much, lift up, and then take it forward. Tap your toe down. And again, make it about control. Take 3 more. So everything in my upper body, my right foot is flexed, my leg is stable. So really just trying to work that left hip for 2. And 1. Okay, now we're going to kind of play with the same movement. So lower back onto your back. And now we'll go abduction, adduction in a different plane here. You're going to lift your left leg up, bring it out to the side, tap your left heel down, and then bring it up and across over your right foot for 5. 4. Keep your shoulders down. 3. Last 2. And 1. Okay, and then release that, shake out your legs. And then bend your left knee, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and we'll do the second side of this before our seated poses today. Bend your left knee in, flex your right foot, and again, we're here for about a minute in our pigeon pose. So keep that tension of your right foot, keep that tension in your arms, but try to relax the tension in your face, and most importantly, relax the tension in your breathing. Take about 3 more deep breaths here. And release your left leg down, and you're going to stretch your left leg straight and bring your right foot to the ground so that your foot is crossed outside of your left thigh. Again, create that tension by pushing your ankle into your thigh there above your knee, and then open your right knee up into that figure 4, and then lift it back up and push it down. I'll take 3 more rounds. And 1. Okay, and then as you open it up, find tree pose. So again, pretty active tree here. meaning flex your left foot, flex your right foot, and then extend your arms overhead, float your arms off the ground. Draw your ribs in, and basically squeezing all of the muscles into your body, right? Drawing everything in isometrically, but then extending out through your fingertips, through your heel, and keeping that right foot engaged. Take 4 more breaths here. And then relaxing your body, lifting your knee up, moving into your spinal twist now, crossing your right knee over to the left side. And again, taking your twist where you will. Let's take 5 breaths here. One more deep breath. Now from there, you're going to continue to roll over to your left, extend your right leg out. Again, you can just extend your arm out and relax your head or come up onto your right form. So it's sort of like a forearm side plank, except we're not lifting our hip here. Now flex your feet and then lift your right leg up. And nice and slowly bring it down. Five more. Final 3. And 1. And then from there, we're going to take our right foot behind and then bring it all the way across in front. Tap your big toe down for 1. Last 3. Two. Final 1. And then you're going to roll back onto your back, and we're going to do that again on our backs now. So from there, flex your left foot, lift your right leg. You'll take your foot out to the right, tap it down, and then take it across your left ankle. We'll do 5 rounds here. Last 2. And 1. And then as you come to center, hug your knees into your chest and just see how you feel here. Let's give your lower back a little massage. I find it fascinating because I know exactly where the injury is, but the way it radiates out and tenses up all the surrounding muscles to protect the point of injury. Right, so my QL especially has been a little bit tight here these last couple of days. Before we come up to sit, let's take happy baby pose. And then just breathe here. You can rock around, you can straddle your legs. Just let it feel good. Give your back a little massage. And then you'll draw your knees back in and you're going to come up to a seated position. Okay. And then find a comfortable seat. So for my seat, I'm going to use my block. And I'm also going to have my strap handy for some shoulder work here. So since we started left side, let's do that as well here. So meaning my right shin will come down and then my left shin will come on top for the seated position. You can also have your left shin in front or lotus, half lotus, whatever works for you for this seat. All right, let's start with some cat-cows here. We'll give our spine a little love. Hands on your thighs. Inhale, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, pull your navel in. Round your back to the wall behind you. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. And then sit up tall, interlace your hands, press your hands up overhead, and then rotate side to side, pushing out through the heels of your hands here, dropping your shoulders down your back. Two more. Taking your hands behind you, fingertips up, just press your heart up, take a breath. Someone wants attention, as always. Take your strap, if you have it, you don't need it, just to give a little tension to the side bends here. So taking your arms overhead, kind of wide, and again, if you don't have a strap, you can just extend your arms out into a V, right? And then take your right hand to the ground, stretch your left arm over into a little twist. Lift up and then go to the other side. Of course, Balthazar right there. Let's do that again. Take it up. Up and over. And now he's trying to disconnect my microphone because he is a little asshole. Let's do one more time. Right hand down. Take a breath. And then switch. And lift up. And again, either in a V or holding that wide stretch and turning side to side a couple times. So right now I'm just thinking about my legs, my hips staying nice and stable, and just from my midsection rotating here. One more. And then release. And let's get a little more detailed into that upper back. You're going to interlace your hands behind your head. Inhale, widen through your elbows. Another cat-cow movement. Lift your heart up. As you exhale, bring your elbows together. Round your back. 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 3 more. For 2. And 1. And then from there, find your neutral spine. And you can stay like this, or if you want an ankle to knee, if you're up for that, you can take an ankle to knee. We're going to be here for about a minute, and we're just going to take a gentle hip opener here. Walk out over your legs, forearms down, maybe chest down, head down. And again, try to pull your heart forward, push your sitting bones back if you're on a block like me or on the ground. And then find some release in your neck, maybe some neck circles here. Just soften now. And take 3 more deep breaths here. And come on back up. Grab a cat. He really is a little asshole. And let it go. Stretch your legs out. Shake out your legs. There's a whole movement of people who cat shame. And I'm not above it. That one doesn't use the litter. He only uses our bathtub. All right, let's go to the other side. So right leg on top or in front. I know if you're not a cat person, you kind of have to deal with that here. Take your hands on your thighs, and let's just do some circles instead of cat-cow here, just working that around. My wife and I also very much love dogs. We just haven't had one yet because just seem to keep getting these little guys in our life. Okay, let's reverse directions on that circling. Two more. All right, and then let's find that tall seat again. So as you interlace your hands, take the opposite pinky on top, press overhead, and what we're gonna do is rotations again, side to side, trying to feel everything from your ribs and up, just turning, and then trying to stay stable in your hips here. Two more. See, it's not even his birthday and he's got to steal the show. That's what he's like. One more. And up. Take your hands behind you. Press your heart up for a breath. And release. And we'll do the same sequence now with the strap, if you have it, or just taking the letter V with your hands, your arms here. Stretch it overhead. We'll drop our left hand over to the ground. And lift up. Stretch your right hand over. A little side stretch, right? Almost like a side angle pose. Let's do it again. Left hand out. Lift up. Right hand down. One more. And as you center off, if you have the strap or not, turn over to the left, pull back to center, turn over to the right. Back, two more rounds. And release. Okay, shake that out. Okay, I haven't done this one in a while. You're gonna take your hands, right, face one another, and then you're gonna wrap your fingers behind you into your just below your ribs here. Right, so you have this flexion in your back now. This is a bit of a wrist stretch also into your upper back. Now from here, just try to touch your elbows together. And then release. So we're kind of flapping our wings here, right? You're gonna bring your elbows together and then open back up two. Take three more. So you get that wrist stretch, you get that flexion in your upper back into your shoulders, three. All right, two more. Last one. And release. Always feels good to get a little wrist action in. So take an inhale, lift your arms up. And again, if you want to take ankles to knee, you can adjust your legs here. We're going to fold down again for about a minute here. Push your sitting bones back, lengthen out, release your neck. Every inhale, lengthen your heart forward a little more. As you exhale, soften into that space. About 4 more deep breaths here. As you inhale, sit back up. And you'll take your legs out in front of you. And you may want to come off the block. You can stay on it if you need. We're going to do some straddle poses next, so taking your legs out a little bit. And finding your straddle pose here. Okay, now again, you may or may not use your strap for this. I'm going to use it just to give my arms a little more extension and some more movement in my upper back, which feels really good. So if you have a strap, and again, towel will work here, or you just don't take your hand as far down if you don't have either of those. I am going to make a loop here with my strap, and I'm going to bring it around my right foot. Okay, so if you have that, you can, again, place it around. Okay, and then, so it just gives my arm a little bit of extension here, so you can see how I can lengthen this side of my body instead of just collapsing, trying to get to my foot. And then I'm going to use that leverage, and then I'm going to take my elbow inside of my foot. And then I'm going to take my left arm up, oh boy, and then extend my left arm over, and then breathe here. We'll take 2 more breaths. Now, if you have the strap, you're going to take it in your left hand. If you can wrestle it from your cat. Yeah, I thought so. And you're going to extend it up overhead and open into that left shoulder. If not, you can just keep going and then open up your left arm behind you here. And you can see perhaps my right foot is off the ground. That tension is helping the hamstring stretch. Take 4 more breaths here. You're going to turn over your right leg now. Keep your left foot flexed. Drive that foot away. And then just take an easy forward bend over your right leg. You can use the strap, of course, if you want, or just lengthen out, hands out to the side. Breathe for 5. Again, imagine you're in a standing fan pose. Both feet are flexed here. Both quadriceps are engaged. And then there's a nice twist over your right thigh. Lengthen out. Exhale, release. 3 more breaths. All right, and then as you inhale, come on back up, grab your strap on the way. And let's take it over to the other side, so placing it around your left foot here. So again, it's the same pose, it's just taking the strap in different hands. So we're here for about 10 breaths. And if you don't have that strap, that's okay. You can just follow along here. So the first part is you have that tension, you're pulling on the strap, elbow comes inside, and right arm just goes up and over, and that's it. And so for now, I'm focusing more on pulling the strap with the bottom side so that I can turn the left side of my body up and find that twist. Two more breaths here. Try to pull your heart forward enough. Very easy to round back in this pose. So you're trying to fight against that just as you would in a side angle pose. Same dynamic. And from there, again, you can remain with it. I'm going to take the strap now in my right hand, bring my left arm outside, and then I'm going to use that form pushing down to help rotate open. And then there's my right shoulder stretch. Breathe for 5. Pull and then turn over that left leg into the hamstring now. Lengthen your heart. And exhale, release over it. Breathe for 5 deep breaths. Last 2 breaths. And then you'll inhale, lift back up to center, center off. And we'll take one more wide here, so maybe you can take your legs a little wider perhaps. Again, keep your feet flexed, pull your heart forward. Lengthen out into your forward bend here for about a minute. Same idea, keep both feet nice and strong as if you were standing in this pose. And then lengthen your heart forward, and then as you exhale, just settle in. Take 2 more deep breaths. And pull back up, soften your knees, bring them into center. Shake it out. Okay, spinal twist. So if you want, you can keep your left leg straight or you can bend it back like I'm doing and then cross your right ankle over. Stretch your left arm up and then exhale, find your seated spinal twist. Take 3 more breaths. Every inhale, lengthen the crown of your head. As you exhale, draw your navel in, twist a little deeper. And rotate back to center. And let's switch that out. Putting your left foot down, taking your right arm up. Exhale, twist over. I'll take 3 more deep breaths. Rotate back to center. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Line up your digits. Keep your feet flexed. Take your arms up. Exhale, fold. If you have your strap, you want to use it. You can work with that as well here for our final pose this morning. Every inhale, lengthen out. As you exhale, surrender into the space. Last 5 breaths. Every inhale, lengthen the crown of your head towards your toes. Exhale, soften. pull it back up. I invite you to come to lie on your backs here for a few minutes. I gotta feed these guys. Thank you. I really needed that today, so I know it was a little mellow, but that felt pretty good. Take a few moments for rest or for some meditation. And I will be back on Saturday for a core flow. I have some ideas of how I can work with it, so I'll see you on Saturday. Namaste, everyone.